Welcome to the Full-Time FBA Show. In each episode, it's our goal to help you turn part-time hours into a full-time income selling almost anything on Amazon. And now, your hosts of the show, Stephen and Rebecca Smotherman.
Welcome to episode number 236 of the Full-Time FBA Show. Today, we're talking about building an Amazon FBA business in an unpredictable economy. And to talk through all of this with us is my wife, Rebecca. What up, Rebecca?
Hello there. I don't know what to respond to that.
Was that unpredictable?
That was very unpredictable. In fact, your introduction is always unpredictable. I'm just never sure what I'm getting into, but
I usually don't even know when I first start and things just come out of my mouth and we're like, let's keep it.
You open your mouth and it's like, what's going to come out? What words will we hear?
Yes. So anyway, we're excited to talk about this non-exciting topic, but we want to talk with you about it and how your Amazon business can overcome it on the Full-Time FBA Show.
I will say that I think the economy can be an exciting topic. It just depends on your personal preference and also how excited you are about talking about nerdy things and unpredictable things. But anyway, so getting into what we're going to cover today for this episode, if you pay any attention to the news, you probably have noticed that a constant headline in the U.S., probably for years now, is how the economy is or is not doing at any given time. Depending on where you get your news, or even depending on which day of the week it is, you might see headlines that the economy is struggling, or you might see a headline that it's doing a lot better now than 4 years ago. The reality is that the U.S. economy can be described a lot of ways, and there's a lot of factors that come into play to make up the economy as a whole. If you're looking at the stock market, you might get one perspective, but if you're looking at the price of groceries or the price of gas, you might get a different perspective. The same goes for looking at tax rates. Some people, for you, your taxes might be fine, but for others, it might be really burdensome. And all of that is going to impact your view of how the economy is doing. One thing that is certain in the U.S. economy is that it will definitely change over time. Nothing ever stays the same in this world, and the economy is included in that. So today we want to talk about what it's like to build an Amazon FBA business in an unpredictable economy, which is basically any economy, whether you think it's doing well or doing badly, it's unpredictable.
Yeah, so for the rest of this podcast, we are going to talk about the ways that we have found Amazon to be reliable for us as our full-time income over the last decade plus of a changing economy. So I got started selling on Amazon back in 2011, which, if you know your recent American history, that time period was at the tail end of what is called the Great Recession, and the economy was still super slow. Over time, things picked back up and we started to see regular ups and downs until the economy took another really big hit at the beginning of the pandemic in 2020. All through those years, Rebecca and I have continued to sell on Amazon and continued to grow our business in various ways to support ourselves and our family. One of the top reasons we enjoy selling on Amazon is that we work for ourselves and we've built our own business. So we're the ones calling the shots during these times of unpredictability. We're not scared about our financial future, what's going to pay the bills, because we have built a decade of stability and reliability with selling on Amazon. And we know that when times get tough, at the very least, we are not going to get laid off. So if you're working a job for someone else, when the economy starts to slump, or even when just your industry is doing poorly, you might be worried that there will be layoffs or reductions of hours or benefits. That type of inconsistency in general is really stressful to deal with, especially how it impacts you and your family financially. Selling on Amazon can provide you some consistency to help you pay your bills, to work towards your financial goals by finding inventory to sell online.
So about not being scared, it's not that we don't pay attention to what's going on in the economy or the news, and it's not that we're not concerned when there are changes to selling on Amazon or changes in buying habits for consumers or just different seasons of the year. In fact, we've discussed here on the podcast before that I am pretty risk averse, where Stephen is usually pretty optimistic and willing to take risks. And I'm also pretty pessimistic. Well, I mean, I would say say that I'm more realistic than pessimistic, but whatever. I tend to be more affected by the news of the economy or finances than Stephen is. But at this point in running our business together, we have just built up enough years of experience in online selling that we both know to just stick with it and keep going. There are going to be ups and downs, but we work hard at what we're doing. We study the changes that are going on. We make solid decisions or adjustments, or we pivot when we need to pivot. And overall, we would much rather be in a position where we're running our own business than working for somebody else in an economy where money just doesn't go as far as it has in the past.
Yeah, and that brings us to our next reason that we have found selling on Amazon to be a reliable way to earn our income in an unreliable economic time. If you are running your own Amazon business, you are in charge of your own financial factors and outcomes. You are in charge of your prices. You are in charge of how many hours you want to work, what types of products you want to buy, how profitable they might be. You get to choose what level of work that you go at and how much you value your work and your experience. You get to determine whether you're making enough money for your efforts or not, and then adjust your business accordingly. Let's look at something that I'm sure that we've all seen in the news and in our grocery receipts. Call it what you will: inflation, priceflation, shrinkflation, or any other next word they're going to come up with to say the same thing.
Inflation.
Yes, they're all at play here, and I'm sure you've seen it in your own personal experience with your finances in the same way that we have. I mean, in our business, we've seen it too. We've had to adjust and figure out how to go from here and get to where we need to get to. So basically, earning the same amount of money now as we have in the past might not cut it moving forward. We're going to need to earn more to continue to reach our goals and afford what we need in our lives.
I think it'd be helpful to talk about a hypothetical at this point. I don't know what the exact numbers would be, but let's just say an American family in 2024 needs to earn $1,000 more a month to keep up with increased prices. Again, I don't know what the exact statistics are. It could be more, it could be less, but I'm sure that it would just vary with a lot of factors. $1,000 is a round number, so that's why I'm using that. This is just hypothetical. So if you need $1,000 extra to pay your bills in 2024 and you're working for someone else, you've got a couple of options. You can ask your boss for an extra $1,000 a month, but that's a pretty huge ask. Depending on what you're making a year, that could be like a 10% raise, which is huge, and not many employers could afford to say yes to that number. Another option would be to find a way to earn an extra $1,000 outside your regular job. And selling on Amazon is an excellent way that many people have found to add an extra chunk of change to their monthly income. If you work hard and make wise business decisions, you could be making $1,000 extra income on Amazon within a short amount of time. Now, another option is to go all in and make Amazon your full-time income. If you're already making that extra income on Amazon, you might find that it's a logical next step for you financially to work your way up to replacing your full-time job with your Amazon business. It is not for everyone, but it's definitely an option for a lot of sellers. And when you're working for yourself, then you can more easily make adjustments to your business to increase it by $1,000 a month when you find yourself needing to increase your income. You can sell more products, or you can sell better products at a higher profit. You can grow and scale and adjust your business when you are the business owner and the CEO, and you can find the extra profits and income that you need when finances get tight. It's just much more manageable to make adjustments to your own business in an unpredictable economy than to depend on your boss to provide you whatever the extra is that you need.
Yeah, and another way Amazon gives you some stability as a business owner during an unpredictable economy is that you get to make the decisions you need to maximize your own work hours if you're the boss. I mean, right now, most bosses and supervisors and managers, they are asking a lot of their employees. They're basically asking for more hours or more work for the same amount of money. And you know, if you're on salary, you may be expected to do more than one person really should be responsible for. Your company may reduce the size of the workforce, even though there's still the same amount of work to get done. And that makes it really hard on those who are working in that situation. If you're an hourly worker, there might be times where you're not given enough hours or benefits to make a living wage, or you might not be approved for overtime. In either of those situations, if that's you, maybe you're considering a way to escape that kind of job and where you're working harder than ever to earn more profits for someone else. Working for yourself is a better way for you to get the most income out of the work hours that you are doing. You get to choose how many of those hours you work. You get to decide whether or not you want to increase your profits, not someone else's profits.
And the last point we want to make about selling on Amazon as a predictable, consistent source of income is that Amazon is just that. Amazon as a company is predictable and consistent in earning money. They survived the pandemic, and in fact, they grew during the pandemic. They grew in the number of buyers, the number of sales they made, the number of Prime subscribers. They continue to grow year over year in the amount of money people are spending on their website in their marketplace. And you want to get a piece of that action to get those customers to buy items from you on a consistent basis. The Amazon brand, as far as a company to be associated with as a third-party seller, is an excellent place to be. Mm-hmm. When other brands or stores are being called into question in this economy as far as their longevity might be concerned, Amazon just isn't going anywhere. Other stores like Tuesday Morning, Bed Bath & Beyond, so many others have closed down, but Amazon is not going anywhere. They are consistent. And they're going to continue to sell large amounts of stuff and just break their previous records of how much people buy each season, each year, each peak buying day of the year. Other stores may have gone out of business, but Amazon is standing strong.
So if you haven't opened up your Amazon seller account yet, now is the time to do that. The peak selling season will not arrive until later this year in Q4, which is October, November, and December of the year. And you need to get your account set up so you can start getting some momentum going so that you're ready in 2024 to have a great selling year. You want to start selling early in the year so that you have more brands and more categories open to you so that by the time October and Q4 arrives, so that you're approved to sell more inventory during that peak buying season.
Whether you are a seasoned seller or you haven't started selling yet, you'll want to attend our upcoming free 5-day workshop. You'll learn the latest about finding profitable inventory to sell again and again and earning a sustainable income by selling on FBA. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, but it's a get-rich-slowly scheme. You can work hard at selling via FBA as a side hustle and make a good solid chunk of change to fund a side project, or you can work hard over the next several months to build a sustainable business that will give you consistent extra income or even become your full-time income. Our biggest goal at Full-Time FBA is to help sellers build a sustainable, successful, long-term business so that you can achieve your financial goals even in an unpredictable economy.
Yeah, if you're curious what it takes to actually make a full-time income selling on Amazon, we invite you to this workshop. You can sign up for free, fulltimefba.com/workshop. It's basically our desire for this workshop, which is free, to be better than the last paid Amazon workshop or course that you've put your money into. And we want to hang out with you. I mean, we like hanging out. So let's hang out together. Figure out how to grow our Amazon businesses in such a way where we are making a full-time income. Again, the link, fulltimefba.com/workshop. We can't wait to hang out with you.
And we're not just going to be hanging out. It's going to be a work-filled workshop. We're going to there's a workbook included, in fact. So once you sign up, you'll be able to download that workbook. You'll be ready for the 5 days of the workshop, and it will be packed with information. You're going to want to take notes. You're going to be actually working on your own business during that workshop. Again, it's for seasoned sellers who are looking to scale, and it's also for those who are just now getting started or haven't even started yet. So check out that workshop, fulltimefba.com/workshop. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Full-Time FBA Show. As a reminder, the show notes can be found at fulltimefba.com/236 because this is episode number 236, and any of the links that were mentioned in this episode can be found with those show notes.
Next week on the show, we're going to be talking about what is stopping you from making a full-time income on Amazon. You know, we've got coaching clients and we're helping them to make a full-time income. And there are certain themes that seem to come up over and over again that are stopping them and others from making a full-time income. We're going to talk about what those things are and how we can break through that so that we can finally make that full-time income. And we'll see you next week on the Full-Time FBA Show.
That's all for this episode of the Full-Time FBA Show. So head over to fulltimefba.com/podcast, where you'll find the show notes and links from this episode. While you're there, subscribe to our newsletter where you'll get several free downloads of our popular and helpful Amazon FBA resources. Now, Take action on what you've learned today so you can find success at turning part-time hours into a full-time income with Amazon FBA.